Hello, a very good day to you and welcome to another episode of the Kanini Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi. Such a pleasure to have you on board. Remember, this is Kenya's most comprehensive political analysis show. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. And you?
Well, I'm okay. At
Good.
least I can see things are moving well in the country.
Yes.
And I get the fact that you do not want us to talk so much about legal issues. And of course, you said you were tired of the courts. I wonder why you made that kind of statement. But here we are, legal issues are here with us to stay. And so we have to discuss and canvass them. So
long as they are not what Kenyans call sub judice.
okay, here we are. A number of Kenyans are just reacting to the recent transfers that we've seen implemented by the Judicial Service Commission of various judges across. One that has struck the minds of so many people and has created some sort of uproar in the public domain is the transfer of the High Court Judge Mugure Thande all the way from the Milimani Constitutional and Human Rights Division to the Malindi Law Courts down there. I wonder what is happening and whether Kenyans are justified in their reasoning, because they're saying, one, now look, why is it that this same judge is the one who stopped the implementation of the Finance Act, and then right now she's being transferred there. Another judge who's also been transferred is the one, Justice David Majanja, actually, who is the head judge in the case that is actually involving those is listening to the petition involving the Finance Act. He was appointed there by the Chief Justice and mandated to do that work. Right now, he's also been transferred. Are Kenyans reading too much from what is taking place within our judicial service?
Let's begin by saying transfers are normal. It's not the first time judges are being transferred.
Definitely.
It's very normal. But this also reminds me of this Constitutional Court division, which is a very sensitive one. Justice Odunga was also removed, and after making a very, very unpopular decision, very unpopular on the side of the government. I think he was pushed to Machakos, if I remember, sometimes back.
Yeah, I remember.
So, but transfers are normal, except that when you are dealing with public matters, in public space, everything you do is watched. Everything you do is interpreted. What rules in public space is public perception.
Definitely. And you've always...
It's not even the reality. I've said it repeatedly. And I think that's why, you know, in very serious jurisdictions, in countries where things work, high-ranking public officials are given nothing but the best technical staff, advisors. So transferring judges is a normal thing. But there must be a team of experts who can tell you, if you touch this person, this is what the country will think. So let it stay. So either it's because they are not tactful, they don't have technical advisors, those in charge of the judiciary, and I'm not surprised because it's what happens in this country, or it is what people are saying. People are saying these guys are being transferred because they made unpopular rulings that cited Mugure Thande. They cite these others still on matters of Chief Administrative Secretary. So that's what people are saying. So it could be true. And if it is true, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. So where then do we draw the line here as a country? Because here we have got judges who made actually certain decisions that perhaps would not have gone well with the executive arm of the government therein. And then all of a sudden they are transferred. I mean, it's the same president who was talking of judicial autonomy and actually talking of independence of all these institutions. But then Kenyans are right now perceiving something different from the government right now in relevance to what we are witnessing. Are they thinking
he
too
didn't
much?
just say the president, when he was campaigning and when he was the deputy president, didn't just say it. He blamed Uhuru's government for using institutions of government, KRA, DCI, ESCC, police, and so on and so forth, to harass their opponents, and the opponents were them. He did say there was massive interference with the functions of those institutions. And that is why, if he was genuine then, somebody within the judiciary should know that what they are doing will go against what the president appeared to believe in. What the president told the country. That during, if I become president, I will never interfere with independent institutions. These transfers send the message to the public that these fellows are being transferred because they are making rulings and decisions that are unpopular with the government. So, and I've said it's perception, it doesn't have to be true. So somebody was saying the president was very strong on this matter of independence of institutions, of non-interference with institutions, of not using these institutions to harass your opponent. The president was very strong on that. Then we can't do this. If we do this, that's the message the people will get. But I'm not surprised, because we live in a country where nobody ever thinks they need advice.
Okay.
So it may be innocent. They may just be doing, this may be innocent transfer, but it does send the wrong signal.
But even for the transfers to be actualized, definitely there are certain legal provisions and protocols that must be followed therein. I don't want us to get into that. But then a bigger question that Kenyans are asking right now is that, do you believe that perhaps the transfer of these judges from where they were to these other courts that they've already been taken to would perhaps influence or rather interfere or affect the cases that are actually ongoing?
The judiciary has its own way of handling. A judge can die. They can be still sick, indisposed. They can be caught in a scandal, and that has happened all the time. They can be transferred.
Okay.
The judiciary has its own internal mechanism to ensure that cases continue. Sometimes it's very sad for the litigants, where the case must start all over again. But they have their own ways of dealing with these cases. So I don't think transfers will interfere with the judicial processes. But I'm more concerned with the perception.
If at all there is a hand behind these transfers, definitely. Yes. Why would somebody want the judges transferred if the person does not want any sort of interference with the cases going on?
It will be that he didn't believe in what he was saying. Yeah.
Okay.
He just wanted to get power. Now that he has power, like Michuki told us, when we asked them questions about Kibaki, they said, please go away. We just wanted Moi to go. Don't ask us many questions. Michuki was very frank with us. He told us, no, we just wanted Moi to go. Wacha kuuliza maswali mingi sasa. Moi ameenda, that's what we wanted. So it's possible you want power. Once you get power, those things you are saying are to help you get power. And it's normal everywhere in the world. Politicians do that all the time. The end game is the power. So once you want the power, you get your power. But it could also be people who are messing you. Sometimes when you get power, because you are so high there, you don't know what's happening. Some small, useless people down there could be thinking they are doing what you would like. That to judge, tunajali kucheza na sisi. Wacha tutuonyeshe. You know? Even during Uhuru's State House tenure, there are people there, I don't want to mention them. Yeah. If somebody who is in the State House calls you, how do you know it's not the president who has said? Somebody very close to the president. Let's also not mention even the current ones. During Uhuru's time, they were there. During Kibaki's time, they are always there, except for Moi's time. Moi ujaribu uone. Kuna mtu atapiga simu hapa sema Moi amesema. No, but during Uhuru's time, Kibaki's time, but noticeably during Uhuru's time, and I'm not so sure about this time, there are people so powerful in State House, they can just make sure those things happen. But it's a complex thing. This is governance, and it's very complex. Yeah.
Somebody like Justice David Majanja right now definitely heading that three-judge bench listening to the case against the Finance Act. Of course, the conservatory orders therein were already lifted, but then right now he's already been shaken. He's been transferred, of which he may still, I wonder whether he'll still preside over that case. But then if at all he was to preside over it, do you think that perhaps he would go in with the same kind of mentality that he had before?
I have no idea. Maybe he would wish he remained in medicine. I'm not so sure.
This now begs the question, Prof, how long do we have to wait till we attain or rather achieve independence of our institutions?
You know, these things are relative. There's nothing like independence anywhere in the world. Look at America, for example. Why do presidents fill the Supreme Court with the people who think like them? Trump wanted conservative judges. He managed to put that thing 1 or 2. If one falls vacant now, most likely it'll be a liberal judge. Is that not trying to have some influence? It happens everywhere. that although we talk of independence of the judiciary, the executive will be happy at any time, in any country, at any time, to have some say in what happens in the other arms of government. With of course, they vary. Ours, we do it in a crude way. But them, they have like an opening. If you are the one to appoint, so you use it. You can't have the power to appoint a judge and you don't appoint one who has some thinking similar to yours. We are human beings, okay? But in Africa, yeah, we just do it crudely. If you want to influence, you just, like Moi's time, nashika simu tu. Ambia Bernard Chunga, huyo jadi tengeneza yeye. Saa 3 ya usiku nasikia jadi yako kotini. Crude. But the point I'm trying to make is the principle of independence is not absolute anywhere in the world. Yeah, no.
And it's not working within the country.
Well, I'm saying it varies. In some countries, it is there, but it's very subtle. Okay? In some jurisdiction, there are some small provisions that you can use. Like if you have the power to appoint a judge, you certainly appoint a judge of a certain thinking, certain inclination, certain persuasion, certain ideology. And that means you are indirectly seeking to, although it didn't favor this guy in America because finally, when he went there, they dismissed him left, right. But it's an attempt to have some influence. Now, there are other places like we have had in this country in the past where it's just direct interference. And I'm only praying that that's not the case now.
If the hand of the executive perhaps is in this, and let me say if, do you think that perhaps the president, or rather the government of the day, is trying to stamp its authority?
It's possible. And it will not be strange. That's what I'm trying to say. It happens across the world. Every president or prime minister will want to influence decisions in the country, including judicial decisions. But there are checks that make it not so easy for him. Yeah. But in Kenya, we have a history where, when we got independence, the judges were mainly from the Commonwealth, mainly white. And the philosophy then that was guiding their operation was that young countries, young democracies like Kenya, the president of such a democracy needed some leeway to do certain things. And the judiciary should not be very hard on the president. That was the thinking then. I'm not so sure it has left us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've definitely always said here that we've got a useless parliament. I wonder why you always maintain that kind of statement. But then,
useless is an English word. You know, you can choose to look at useless as an insult, but I choose to look at it as an English word that says something that doesn't do what's supposed to do. If you bought this phone and it's not working, then it's a useless gadget. Am I again?
Okay.
Is a useless gadget, right?
Definitely.
It's useless. Your phone is useless. You could have bought it with a lot of money, but it's useless. So if Parliament is meant to do certain things and is doing not even an eighth of what they are supposed to do, I don't know a lot of English because I'm not an Englishman, but the little English I know can only appear to suggest that the Parliament is useless.
So if the Parliament is useless, as you're saying here, the judiciary is now choking. Kenyans are asking a question: how many arms of government do we have, like right now? And
who tells you the judiciary is choking?
The judiciary
is trying. Transfers are normal. I've told you that before. You cannot blame the judiciary merely because they have transferred people.
Okay.
That's normal. Everywhere transfers are normal. And when these guys got the job, they knew, they signed it, they can be transferred anywhere. They know it. You can't use that anywhere in any place. You can't go to court that I have been transferred. That no court will listen to you. They just go out.
Even if there is.
Thank you for visiting us. The judge will tell you, thank you for visiting my court. Now you can take a walk.
Even if there were sinister motives behind
that
the
is not.
it doesn't matter.
How would you prove sinister motive? Yeah, how? You can just know it, but keep it to yourself. Go home and take porridge. Yeah.
So here we are as a country.
So, but you cannot vilify the judiciary for transferring people because it's normal. But the judiciary should be careful enough not to pass the wrong perception to the country that when judges are doing their good job, they will be transferred merely because of sticking with what they think is right and is true, making judicious decisions, sometimes in the interest of the public, as with this Finance Act. The perception should not be sent outside there by the Judicial Service Commission that these people are being punished for that.
Definitely.
And remember, I've said, and I will keep saying this so that our leaders get it, perception is king, or queen if you wish. You get what I'm saying?
I get you quite well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tell us what you actually think of this conversation here, and of course your opinion on the transfer of judges that we've just witnessed here, whether you are also of the majority kind of perception that we're witnessing here. And of course, Prof has put it here so well that perception is king, perception is queen, so to say, and so it is important in this country. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.